Gaslighting, a word that has made its way from obscure origins into the mainstream lexicon, and for good reason. It is the silent manipulator, the master illusionist of interpersonal relationships. It's not loud or brash. No, it operates in the shadows, twisting the truth until you're left questioning your own perception of reality. So how does one recognize this insidious tactic? And more importantly, how does one respond? Today, I invite you on a journey to not just understand gaslighting, but to arm yourself against it. Let us dive into the murky waters of manipulation and emerge with clarity and strength. Imagine this. You're sitting across from someone, a colleague, a partner, perhaps even a friend. You bring up an event that occurred, something you saw, something you felt, and they reply with an unnerving calm. That never happened. At first, you question them. Then you question yourself. Perhaps you're misremembering. Perhaps you misunderstood. This, my friends, is the first blow of the gaslighter's arsenal, the denial of your reality. Let me tell you a story. Picture a couple. Let's call them David and Eleanor. One evening, David expresses frustration over a disagreement they had the week prior. Eleanor, smiling faintly, says, "I don't recall that happening." David, baffled, insists it did. Eleanor shakes her head, her tone soft but firm. "You must be imagining things." And there it is, the seed of doubt. Gaslighting thrives in this soil, where the truth becomes slippery, malleable. But let me assure you, you are not imagining things. Your reality is valid. Hold on to it. The art of deflection, a gaslighter's greatest weapon. Let us say you confront someone about a financial discrepancy or a breach of trust. What do? They pivot, effortlessly, skillfully. "Well," they say, "since we're talking about honesty, remember that time 2 years ago when you..." And before you know it, the spotlight has shifted. You are no longer discussing the issue at hand. You're defending yourself against a tangential accusation. Now, how do we respond to such tactics? Simple. Stay the course. When the gaslighter veers into irrelevant territory, gently but firmly guide the conversation back. I understand you want to discuss that, and we can. But right now, let's address the issue I brought up. Do not let the conversation spiral. If they persist, disengage. Some battles are not won with words, but with silence and boundaries. Gaslighters have a knack for weaponizing your emotions against you. They'll say, "You're overreacting. You're being too sensitive. Can't you take a joke?" Let me share another story, a workplace scenario. Olivia approaches her manager, Mark, about a disparaging comment he made during a meeting. Mark smirks and replies, "Oh, come on, Olivia. Everyone else thought it was funny. Maybe you're just too sensitive." In that moment, Olivia feels small, as though her feelings are an inconvenience. But here's the truth. Her sensitivity is not the problem. Mark's dismissiveness is. Emotional invalidation is a hallmark of gaslighting, and it is designed to make you doubt the legitimacy of your own feelings. What can Olivia do? Assert herself. "Mark, humor is subjective, but my feelings are valid. That comment made me uncomfortable, and I'd appreciate it if we could address it constructively." Gaslighting often drives its victims to desperate measures, recording conversations, saving emails, documenting every interaction. And yet, presenting this evidence to the gaslighter rarely yields satisfaction. Why? Because they are masters of the counterattack. "You're so petty recording me like that. How dare you?" They turn the tables, painting you as the unreasonable one. Let me say this. The recordings, the documentation, they are for you, not them. They serve to validate your reality, to remind you that you are not imagining things. Use them as a tool to ground yourself, not as a weapon against the gaslighter. The long email. Crafted with care, edited to perfection, it is the victim's attempt to explain, to persuade, to make the gaslighter see reason. And yet, what happens? The gaslighter skims it, reloads, and responds with a barrage of their own accusations. Do not waste your energy on perfect emails or exhaustive explanations. Gaslighters are not seeking understanding, they are seeking control. Instead, keep your communications concise and focused. State your boundaries and intentions clearly, and do not engage in prolonged debates. So what is the antidote to gaslighting? It begins with awareness. Recognize the patterns. Understand that gaslighting is not about you. It is a reflection of the gaslighter's insecurities and need for control. Then, set boundaries. Disengage from unproductive conversations. Seek support from trusted friends, colleagues, or a mental health professional. You do not have to navigate this alone. And finally, reclaim your narrative. Write down your experiences, not for the gaslighter, but for yourself. In the act of writing, you affirm your reality. You say, "This is what happened, this is what I felt, this is my truth." Gaslighting is a battle for your perception, your confidence, your sense of self. But remember, you hold the power. Your truth is not up for debate. Defend it with grace, assertiveness, and unshakable clarity.